Okay, hey you guys, what's going on? Seems to be a little delay, okay? I missed you guys. I haven't been here. It seems like in forever. I'm here. I got one earring in, got this I got this thing on my head, got to get the hair done, but you know. But give me a heart and a thumbs up when you're in here, okay? Well, so at least I'm glad I know that the sound is on. How you guys feeling? Y'all, we got some things to get into. I am feeling much better. I had been down. I had been really, really down, coughing and carrying on. My daughter was sick, and this week we are really just now getting it together. So I'm sorry you guys haven't seen me. Hey, Sonera girl. Good evening. Please like live videos, subscribe if you haven't done so, and share. Yes, thank you. And if you guys are watching on YouTube, make sure that you do hit that thumbs up like button on the video. We have so many things to get into. I hope you guys have been keeping up with the foolishness that's been on TV and the new shows that have been dropping. But this one in particular, I just made a post about it today, baby. This one left me like, I'm surprised, but I'm not surprised. So say hello to me when you get down in here, when you get here tonight. You guys, how you guys feeling before we jump right on in? How you guys feeling? What's new with you guys? And I want to say shout out to everybody. Thank you guys who went onto the website, who signed up, who became a member of the website. Like I said, Candy Coated Secrets is the business that keeps on giving. So anytime you do anything on there, you receive points and you can use them at checkout, whether it may be purchasing something, my guide, my book, my juice, or whatever it is you want to do. So that's just my way of giving back. So I want to say shout outs to you guys for that. Um, and I am working on some other things for the Patreon. So shout out to you guys who've been doing the Patreon. I truly appreciate I truly appreciate that since I'm on this journey, this solo ship journey of entrepreneurhood. Okay. I do, and because it's something else that I want to shout out to. Give me 1 minute. I'm gonna let you know in 2.3 seconds if it allows me to do so. Because I want to also put the link down below. So give me a moment. What's new with you guys? Hey Andre, how are you? So I'm just running around like I've just been running around like a chicken with my head cut off, just trying to get better and feel better. Um, so I'm just so glad that I'm starting to feel better. I said I have to do the show. Y'all know when I miss a day, I feel like I'm being lazy. Y'all already know. Even when I was sick, I mean, the girl ain't have a voice. I didn't have anything, and your girl was feeling like I was not going to be able to do it. I'm trying to sign on to something so that I can show you guys something. Look at that. Hey, over there in Facebook land. Yes. And shout outs to you. Shout outs to you, Sonera, too, for watching it on YouTube and getting the YouTube viewership up over there. I truly appreciate that too. And usually CJ's over there, but guess what? You beat CJ again today. I'm not sure if he's here, but we got to keep track because it is 8:17, and he likes to try to say he beat you logging onto the show. So now we have it on record. He can stop and rewind this beautiful bean fudge. Okay. If ever he needs to. So I'm so glad to see you guys in there because listen, y'all, we have a lot to unpack. Okay. So I get a lot of my topics and discussion from the things that I see and from the people that I talk to and personal experiences. And babe B, when I tell you this foolishness right here that people are doing, it is beyond crazy. Now, I don't know if this is a good thing to say shout out because anyone losing their life is definitely not a good shout out. But Naziah Harris, uh, what we call him, the predator, he is no longer living amongst us. They saying that he unalived himself in his cell. don't feel like, I don't know. I don't think he did. I just feel like I think it's sad because they said that he gave the location of her body, but then I saw something where they said that he didn't ever get the opportunity to give the location of her body. So it's still just a sad situation. His sister was saying that she doesn't know how her brother became the way he is. And, of course, she's very sad for losing her brother. You know what I mean? So it's one of those slippery slopes type situations. But what I want to do is everything, it seems like, it seems like there's a little lag. I can't control the lag. Yes, he lost again tonight. So we have to make sure that we let him know. Okay. He lost tonight because we are definitely going to get into some things. I want to copy this. I want to copy this link and it won't allow me to copy the link. So I may have to do it this way because I want to put this link up here for you guys. And thank you for everybody. Oh, I got to go onto TikTok. Oh my goodness, you guys. I haven't been on TikTok in so long. We know I got to get them because TikTok be helping your girl meet the goal. Okay. And shout outs to y'all who also help me meet my goals when you're able to help me meet my goal. But I wanted to give a shout out tonight too. So I'm trying to be a little sneaky and do it how some of you guys do. Let me copy that. I'm gonna put this link down in the chat, and then that will be that. Anything going on, you guys, in your neck of the woods? What's new with you guys? Congratulations, Sanera. I seen that you said that you have a high schooler now or 18-year-old. One of the two. Blame my blame my mind, not my heart. You know I seen it though. So congratulations, shout out. Oh, shout outs to you on that, y'all. Sanera is moving out of needing a babysitter lane. Okay. So I just put that link up there. It's called Sow into a Purpose. Hey Taran, how are you? So I just wanted to thank everybody who has contributed and snuck on the website and gave donations to me to continue to help me grow my platform, to continue to help me just to build, especially since this is like my full-time income. So I appreciate you guys. So like I said, if you guys ever want to make any donations, it is tracked on the website. You can also send it via Cash App here. I just truly appreciate all that you guys do with trying to, not trying, with helping me, and we just continue to keep this show on the road. All right, so I'm going live on TikTok. Now, with that said, hi, Taran, how are you? How have you been? And my condolences to you as well. I'll see you in a few months. Yes, okay. Girl, listen, I know what it's like. I know how you feel. Okay. That's why I be saying, look, I wouldn't know what to do if I had to pay for a babysitter. I wouldn't know what to do if I had to get a sitter. I see you be in my city. Yes, I'm there often. I am there often. I have a great time. I'm actually going back again. I have a few other things that's on my list, and plus I've been sanctioned and summoned there too. So thank you, and thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. So let's get into the foolishness. All right. So I posted something in the group not too long ago because here we are, you guys. You know, I see that everyone is saying lately like they are a girl's girl, and that's not really like anything that I like to say. However, for me, just because I'm a woman, don't kill me tonight, y'all. Make sure y'all give me a heart and a thumbs up. And like I said, share the show. You can support me by sending stars. You can support me just by sharing the show. Or you can donate to the Cash App or go to the website and donate on the link directly. And sign up so you can get your points too, child. Um, but listen, I am not going to side with women just because I'm a woman. Okay. So let me put that first disclaimer out before y'all try to come at me and knock my head off. Now, when I saw this thing in recent events, okay, so I said, oh my God, there are so many messages And this is ridiculous. I wonder if people are paying attention. So I'm gonna maybe I'll copy and paste it here even too in the comments. Okay, so here we are. If a man tells you exactly what the situation is, okay, and you still choose to move forward with this man, okay, then later we cannot act confused. So this is where this was summoned from. So there's a show called Scotty's Baby or something like that. Y'all know the Toxic Network Zeus, Lemmy. Lemmy is now in a situationship where he's having a baby with one of the girls from Baddies, okay? And we gotta pay attention to the details. When I was telling my homegirl about this earlier, she was clenching her pearls and was like, ooh, 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 okay? Because like I said, I'm with you. I'm with you when you write, but I'll never be with you just because I'm a woman, okay? And I said that, and I say that to say, I'm not gonna lie, I'm with this man all day long. I know, don't shoot me, don't shoot the messenger, don't do any of that, but I am with this man. I stand beside him all day long. I'm not gonna side with anybody just because I'm a woman, okay? So I feel like at what point do we start holding ourselves accountable, right? For the choices that we're making when we have all the information, right? So here we are. Give me a heart and thumbs up when you get here, okay? And TikTok, you can help me make my goal. I only need one rose, okay? So here we are, and the first. So this is off the chain. First thing on the break on the show, right? So to give you guys some history, so Lemmy is a man. He's the owner of Zeus Network, which is either a multi-million-dollar or billion-dollar business. It doesn't really matter. She used to be a cast member, and she still is to a degree on Baddies. Okay, you guys keeping up? If I'm going too fast, just let me know, or maybe you need to just listen, and I don't gotta slow down. Okay, and so they're in a relationship. So this whole situation to me is just trifling all the way around, right? Because Lemmy was in a relationship with the young lady Janisha. Do you guys need pictures? Do you want me guys to put up pictures so you guys can see who we're talking about and keep up with it? Just let me know. If not, we can just keep it moving on. Okay. So he was in a relationship when he first, with the show and all that stuff, his business first came out, his network. He was in a relationship with this lady named Janisha. He was in a relationship with her and she would host all the reunions. You know how they do, the people who host the reunions on like Love and Hip Hop and all that, right? Y'all keeping up? Let me know in the chat if y'all keeping up. And so meaning she has been around every cast member of this show, right? We gotta remember that one. Somebody write in the chat, every cast member. She's been around every cast member when she was in this relationship with him, including on trips with the young lady that he now has pregnant. Y'all, it's a lot. Okay, it's a lot. It is a lot. Andre, you said no. No to which part, Andre? Okay. Oh, so no to the pictures. We don't need pictures. Okay. So, because I'm here to please. I give y'all what y'all looking for. Okay. So here we are. He also was in this relationship with her. This relationship with this young lady, he was in a relationship with her for 7 years. It came to an end. Okay. And next thing you know, we just saw him going on different interviews. Some of the cast members were saying that he was dealing with Scotty. They were denying it at first, but then it came out that he really was dealing with Scotty. So now we're in a situation where now Scotty is about to have his daughter. Pause right there. Before Scotty got pregnant. So before Scotty got pregnant, of course, Scotty knew about whatever was going on with him and the young lady Janisha, right? But he told Scotty that he did not want a traditional relationship. He told her that he was dating and he wanted to see her, and it was his one of his main partners, but he needed and was still trying to find himself while dating. Right? Y'all hear that? Find yourself while dating. Okay, this is what he says. So he's trying to find himself as he's dating, because they're having this conversation now that she's pregnant. So here we are. So now he's gone through Scotty phone before. Scotty has now gone through his phone. Right? It's typical ghetto relationship. Okay. So while they're talking, again, she's pregnant now. So you know what that means. She no longer wants to be in that basically that open relationship. So now I learned something new every day. So y'all know when I learn, I gotta bring it to y'all. So now I've learned that another term for relationships that people can have is customizable, whatever that is, right? A customizable relationship. So he said that he likes customizable relationships. He does not like traditional relationships, and he will not be in a traditional relationship unless God tells him and guides him in that direction. Now he's telling this all to his pregnant, customizable. Okay. I mean, you guys, I have been taken back to where so I've been talking about this with everybody. Like, I cannot believe that women are signing up for like this. Okay. But it gets better. So he said, you knew this, you agreed to this. She said, yes. He said, okay. He said, you were dating. She said, well, after you broke, basically after you broke up with Janisha, he was like, I was dating, you were dating. She was like, okay, I was dating, you was dating. He was like, well, no, actually you weren't. He said, you told me, because he is manipulative, y'all. He is playing these word games with this young lady. He is gaslighting this girl. I mean, y'all have to see it. Especially I'm telling you, y'all know we don't like foolishness here, okay? But we like the foolishness when we trying to freaking make a point. And I just feel like, the Lord was like, go talk about this because somebody needs to hear this, okay? And give me your heart and thumbs up when you get here. Yes, customer. Okay. Okay. So, Andre, check this out. So he says, well, you weren't honest because I found out you were seeing somebody and you didn't tell me that, but I told you what I was doing. So that's not the same thing. And she was like, okay, yes, I did. He said, no, you didn't. And she said, okay. And he said, and she said, he said, and you went through my phone. And she said, and you've gone through my phone as well. Now we all know that is a man somewhere who, whether he's with his friends, whether it's online and on the internet, he's definitely not about to admit it. Um, I guess he don't want to lose his player card, okay? Or man code, because apparently men don't go through phones, but I can tell you that was determined to be a lie. And that is a lie, okay? So he went through her phone. She said, well, you went through my phone too. And she was like, okay, well, we're not going to go back there because now we're here. Okay. We move forward past that. I got this baby. What we doing? Right. So he did because I have to tell you this conversation prior to getting to the message. Okay. So he's like, okay, well, let's go ahead and move on because they're getting ready to go to Thailand. And he said, but I gave you the information up front. He said, and when I got with you, I told you what I wanted, that I would be seeing you and I would be seeing other women as well. I am not a customizable. I have customizable relationships. I do not do tradition, right? I do not do tradition. Yes, we planned this baby. You said you wanted a baby, I wanted a baby. We laid down and we made this baby together. Okay. So she's like, right. He said, so like now how are you feeling? She says, what y'all think? What do y'all think she said? Because I want to make sure y'all keeping up. What do you think her response is? What does she say to him after he asks her that? What does she say to him? While I sit here and drink my drink. And I am not going to move forward until I see somebody comment below. What do you think she said to him? Because I'm telling you, and you gotta like I was sitting here looking at this stuff like this is not real. And I know we believe a lot of these shows are scripted and they are written and they have to have that drama for people and to have them invested. However, this girl is very pregnant. This girl with these tears and all this stuff this girl is having on this entire show are very real. This shit ain't scripted. Listen, He he reminds me, he is Peter Guns, okay? He's definitely Peter Guns 5.0 mixed with Stevie J 10.7. You feel me? So you get the drift. Do you get just, and he is the corniest. It's always them, Andre. He is the, well, I'm not gonna say that because that's not nice, because there is a pot, for every pot there's a lid, and somebody likes that. For me, as I'm looking, he is a clown. Okay. I ain't never seen Ringling Brothers unless I seen Ringling Brothers until I seen this man. Corny. Corny. Okay. And we all know a clown that's like, yo. She would you say she feel like they're in a relationship? No, she doesn't feel like they're in a relationship, but she said now you're so good. You are right there. Hit it right on the head. Boop. She wants him to only be with her. Mind you, starting off the show, he comes in trying to give her a kiss and she won't give him one. And he was like, "What's going on?" She was like, "How are you?" He was like, "Well, I was doing good until I walked in and tried to kiss you and you ain't kissing me." She said, "Because you have lip gloss on your lips." Woo-hoo. You have lip gloss on your lips. Okay. So he comes in there with his lips looking like a glazed donut from somebody else's little sparkly glitter lipstick. Okay. So somebody come in there, he comes in there trying to kiss his customizable with glitter gloss lips. Okay, so he laughs and is just like, okay, and this is when the conversation begins. So she said, I wanted, she said, okay, well, things change because I am having a baby now. She said, I'm pregnant. She said, I'm having a daughter, and I don't want my daughter to be embarrassed. I don't want to be embarrassed, and I don't want my daughter to be embarrassed. And so she's telling him this because, again, they're talking because of he's this customizable relationship. And this is why I said, don't shoot the messenger. Do not unalive me. I cannot. This is why I was so mad. It was these words in this very moment where Lemmy had me like, nigga, I'm with you when you're right. I was so mad. I was so mad. He said, okay. He said, so when I met you, you said what you were okay with. Okay. He said, okay. So she so that changed. And she said, yeah. She said, I want, I don't want that. I don't want my daughter to be embarrassed. I don't want to be embarrassed. Things change. She said, things change. I changed now that I'm pregnant and I'm about to be a mother. This mother freaker looked at her. What do y'all think he said? This man, I wanted to jump through the TV. Y'all have to watch at least this first episode. He said, okay. So he said, okay. He said, so you changed. I was like, okay. He said, so you've changed, right? Not no, I understand you having a baby, you're having my baby, you want to be a family. He said to her, you told me when you met me, verbatim, he said that you love me and you would accept me as I am while I am dating you and finding myself. I don't do traditional relationships. So now you've changed because you're pregnant. And she's just sitting there because there's nothing she could even say. It's nothing she could even say. Hell, it wasn't nothing I could even say. What y'all think? I need to see y'all feedback. I need to see your feedback. If someone tells you what the situation is from the very beginning, and you say, hey, I'm going to proceed with this, should people, your friends or family, feel sorry for you if you decide to stay in that said customizable or end up pregnant and keep it And I'm not asking you guys, I'm not asking you this question on about, oh, what would be right of him to do. We're not talking about what would be right of him to do. We are talking strictly on the basis of, if a man or a woman tells you from the very beginning what they want, how they want things to be, and how the situation with you and them are going to go. And at some point, somebody changes and wants something else. Can we rightfully blame the other party that says, I didn't change, you changed because I said what it was, and I don't want that for me right now? Come on, like this. This is why I said I have to give y'all the story so we can really have a conversation, because it's so much within this first 57 minutes where first of all, that was the first 20 minutes of an hour show. And I'm like, oh, this is about to be some good content. That we about to get some good messages up out of this. And I don't know if I'm going to watch another episode. I don't know. I may not. Someone was like, and when I was talking to them, they was like, can you cover this just like you were covering? Even somebody inboxed me and was like, can you cover this show like you covered Krishan and Bluefaces on YouTube? I was like, I don't know. I'll let you know. Come on, you guys. I want to see you guys. Like, let's talk to me. Like, this is a real conversation. And I'm going to repeat it. If someone tells you what the situation is from the very beginning about what they do and what they do not want, and you make the conscious choice, whether you may like them, whether you haven't had no alligator tail in a long time, we have to be honest here. If someone tells you what it is from the very beginning, and something may change, whether you have a baby with this person, whether you guys may move in together, whatever it is, if that same person says to you after you've changed, say, well, I don't want what you want, is it their fault? Can you blame them, or can you blame you? Like, let's really get into it. See, because I like that, because these are the conversations when these shows come on that people don't really be wanting to have, because I feel like it makes people sit back and make you have to look. Okay, so this is why I said, hey, TikTok, guys, can you help me meet my goal? I only have to get 1 rose. Oh, it's making me start a flash goal. I would truly appreciate it if you guys could send me 3 roses. I appreciate it. So here we are. So this is what he says to her. He said, well, you changed, because when we met and I told you, look, I'm dating, you will be, he said, you are my partner, not a committed partner, but you are my partner. Thank you for liking the live. Thank you. You are my partner. He said, you are my partner. Okay. Mind you, he ain't saying we in this committed relationship. He said, you are my partner. He said, I love you. I'm in love with you. I like what we have. But I told you, I do not do traditional relationships. And you agreed to that, right? He also says, listen to this, because I don't know how I feel about privacy. He also said, and I'm going to read the comments in a minute. He also said, I think a woman going through a man's phone is dangerous. And this mother freaker is being so manipulative with this girl. It is ridiculous. He's gaslighting her. He even tells her she's the moon, she's his moon, his stars, his light, his earth. I'm sitting here like, yo, you've got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me. And she's just sitting there pregnant, all sad. And he said, because I believe you suffer from invasive impulsive disorder. Right? She's like, what? He said, yeah, because I just came in. He's like, I'll come in the house and you have gone through all of my stuff. Drawers are open, my phones, everything. And I'm not understanding why you're doing that. Now, listen, I told y'all I'm with you when you right, and I will never side with a woman just because I'm a woman. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that, especially if somebody is telling you what they told you, what it was from the beginning. Let me hold that thought. Andre said, absolutely not. You can't get mad. That's like if he said he didn't want kids and she got pregnant thinking it would change his mind. Once someone tells you what they want or expect, you got an option. Walk away or stay and put up with whatever happens. Yes, and I'm going to leave that comment up there for a minute. And you guys chime in because I see y'all right there. All of y'all on Facebook and YouTube and all of that. And TikTok, chime in because I think this is really something we need to have because these shows that show that are adding, and this is just my personal opinion, I'm representing myself, add to the already foolishness of the societal and cultural norms that people want you to be okay with. You understand? People want you to be okay with their foolishness. So, over here, we're going to get deep. We're going to have real life conversations. I'm not into all that foolishness. No clickbait, no none of that. We're going to have a real conversation because this shit is real out here. Okay. And I wholeheartedly stand with you, Andre. I wholeheartedly stand with that comment. So here we are. So he was telling her that he doesn't want her to go through his phone and that it's quite dangerous and things like that. Now, like I said, I'm with him when he's right. Because if you already know what you signed up for, there is no reason for you to be going through anybody's phone. She already knew that he's in this customizable relationship. He said to her, you already know I see other women. You know this. This was not a secret. This was what you was told at top. He then says, whoo, this is why, disclaimer, and I feel like you got to read the fine print, but this is why some men, you can't allow them to do everything for you. Some men you can't, and this is why. He said to her, okay, because she has her own house, he has his own house. They do not live together. He says to her, you don't pay any bills. Y'all, I am gagging. He said, you don't pay any bills. You don't have to pay any bills. You take trips. I provide a great life for you. He said, and you have numerous of opportunities like at your feet. Basically, you benefit from being with me, right? And Chelsea TV said, Lemmy is the baddie. Yes. Yes, he is. And so she's listening. And the sad part is, y'all, while I'm sitting here and I'm watching this, I'm sitting here like, girl, it's nothing you can say. It is nothing she can say. What y'all think about that? Because as I'm looking at it, I'm like, okay, she's in a situation where he's saying, he said, I provide a great life for you. Woo! Y'all know these type of words blow my mind. He said, I provide a great life for you, but clearly it may not be enough and it's not what you want. Right? And he said, so there's nothing that I can do. Y'all, and she is having this dude's baby. And it was in that moment where I said, this is what it looks like when you choose to sell your soul for a check. Do y'all agree? Not just a check that she's getting from the show that they have together, but a check. She said, you're talking about material things and trips and stuff, and I'm talking about what I want. Like, hello, I don't want I don't want you to want other people. He said, I want you to just want something. And she said, and I want you to only want me. He laughed. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. He laughed. He laughed. And she said, let's just change the subject. Yo, Chelsea said, Scotty thinks she is bigger than the program. That's the issue. And so y'all know I've been asking on line for a few weeks now. I even asked like my daughter, I even asked my nephew them, like, yo, what's the program? Because I even asked y'all because nobody can tell me what this program is. Okay. What's the program? She said, exactly. It's not about the baby. She crashed in, take the child support and go. See, now that's the problem. Not take the child support and go. Because that's what I was saying earlier. And somebody I was talking to was like, she better just get that child support. See, that's the problem now why men feel like women only want to have a baby for a check. Okay. That's a whole nother thing, right? But he did. He laughed. So then we learn, okay? We learned they haven't had sex since she's been pregnant. She's further along now, but the show just aired and she's 23 weeks. Hey Mariah girl. How are you? She's 23 weeks, right? So we just learned so on the show she's 23 weeks. Proud of you. Thank you so much. I'm proud of you too. Yo, shout outs to the bartender. This is the bartender who, this is a commercial, who bartended Naya's birthday for me. Y'all gotta go and follow my girl on TikTok at Mariah Lachey and at the Betty Bartender Cocktails and Treats on Instagram. Y'all gotta go see her. She was the life of the party. But here is why I'm like, this is why I can't stand for people to men really believe that a lot of women have a baby just for a check. So here we are. We've learned. Now we're gonna learn. What y'all think, Facebook? Because I see y'all. Look, Andre, you pondering. I see y'all. What you think, Sanera? And you guys that are just joining and have joined, make sure you like, double tap, like, share, give the video a thumbs up while you're over there on YouTube, you guys. And share the show on Facebook. So we learned, she said they also haven't had sex. Okay. They haven't had sex since she's been pregnant. So apparently he's saying he ain't been getting none. So now they in Thailand. And so while they're in Thailand, she's exercising, but she's in pain. So she's laying on the bed. She was like, babe, I'm just in so much pain, this, that, and the third. And he's like, well, what's wrong? She said, I was working out X, Y, and Z. He then says, okay, she said, can you help me stretch? He says, sure, I'll help you stretch. And as he helps her stretch, he then be like, I think you're being dramatic. I think you're being overly dramatic because you're pregnant. This, that, and there, right? But it's the way he talks. Now, confession. I know this guy who talks and sounds just like, well, babe, you gotta go, babe, this not good for you. That talks just like that, and it grinds my gears. And the sad part is, I see him and Lemmy. Like, he really thought he was this guy whole time. He broke as a joke, okay? Andre said, not only a check, they think a baby will change him. Absolutely not. He is willing to be a dad and hoeing at the same time. That part, okay? Andre, I'm so glad. See, you got it. You got it. So he says, well, because she had her friends and her family had flew out there with her. He flew them out. And he says, well, as she's saying she's in pain and things like this. Are you going to be okay? I'm going to hang out with my guys tonight. She said, babe, no, you're going to hang with me. I wanted us to hang together. We have to spend time together. Because now Lemmy is using the whole, he's running this business. He's so overwhelmed. He's stressed out. He has all these employees. So he's also guilt tripping her. He also is a little narcissist. He's a lot of things. He's gaslighting her. He's doing so much to this poor young girl. And she's just taking it and was like, well, I don't like it when you're stressed out. I don't want you to be stressed out. I'm just telling you, don't worry about it. And I feel like a part of her is living through Instagram. Like, she's like, one part, she's like, we haven't taken any pictures for New Year's because it's like I guess it's their Chinese New Year's or whatever when they went or whatever. She said, we didn't take any pictures for New Year's. You haven't been being with me as much. Like, he's like, babe, I am stressed out. I was just robbed of $70,000. So he does all that. He says, can we have, he said, well, you are going to be here and I'm going to be with my guys and I'm going to have like a hangover moment. I haven't had sex with you. And I want to, what do you want me to just beat off and either keep beating off or beat off? He said, I'm going to go hang out and have a good time, meet someone, get my rocks off while I'm in Thailand, basically. This is what he's saying to her as she's sitting on the bed saying she's in pain. She's sore from exercising with their baby, with their daughter. And she was like, what? He's like, I'm just telling you, what I'm about to do. Y'all. And it was also in that very moment where we've basically learned throughout her pregnancy, he's been sleeping with other women because before the pregnancy, he's sleeping with other women. But remember when Stunner Girl first was on there, when she first got on there, and she had said, came out and said a lot of things on live when she left them or whatever. She was like, Lemmy is sleeping with all the girls. Natalie's the only one that's really making real money. And allegedly she was like, Scotty is sleeping with Lemmy and they're passing STDs amongst each other. I don't know if you guys remember that or not, but allegedly she said all this on live. And I just was really sitting there watching this show like, yo, this is so sad. You have this girl who has sold her soul for a check. Now that she's already feeling differently because she is pregnant, correct? So you already know, baby girl, once you drop that baby, you're not gonna be able to chase and rip and run behind this man on all these flights back and forth. Yeah, well, you could, because y'all gonna probably have nannies and the kids will be grandkids. So I ain't gonna say that because they definitely got more coinage than me, so they probably will be able to do that. But at the end of the day, she gives and she said she wants to be with her baby. She's gonna want to be that motherly being with her baby because she loves her dog. She already has her dog that she treats like her baby, Capri. And here it is, she has now sold her soul for a dollar sign. And he basically feels like she should shut up because she put up, paid for, he get to go on trips, she gets to go shopping, and he feels she has absolutely nothing to complain about. And here she is in Thailand with him, not really seeing with him. You see her begging him to take a picture with her because she needs her Instagram moment. And I'm just like, man, this is so sad. Now, if we want to get to the child support thing and look at the other side, she definitely had a baby with a man that got a coin, got a big bag. She definitely did that. He's definitely put her in a position where she is also going to get paid from this show that's airing on his network that he too is starring in. And and I guess the saying is really true that as long as you are benefiting for a situation, you will accept anything that comes along with that situation. I mean, stop me when I'm wrong. And shout out to everybody over there that was on TikTok. Let me know when I'm wrong. Well, I want to know, what are y'all thoughts about that? Because here we are, and I feel like that, like I said, there was so much to unpack, but so many things within it itself. We first, we are human. Oh, and then what he say? Yeah, because he said something about being human. He said something like we're two humans that have the right to choose, or something like that. And you know, I want us to stop normalizing this bull crap and these customizable relationships in these society. Now, don't get me wrong, everyone is where they are on their journey. Whether you may want a commitment, whether you want to be a home wrecker or not, whether you want to be faithful to your wife or not, whether you want to be faithful to your husband or not, whether you want to be faithful to your girlfriend, vice versa, girlfriend, girlfriend, boyfriend, boyfriend, vice versa. These are all choices at the end of the day. These are all choices that we are making. And we have to stop blaming other people for the choices that we make. And I'm saying that to say it's one thing because people will do that a lot and say, "Hey, well, this made me do that or that made me do that." Here we are, a perfect example. This girl is letting him do whatever he wants to do. She now has changed her mind about what she wants in a relationship because the dynamics have changed. This is why you have to be careful what you pray for and who you get to pray for you and all these other things, because in the very beginning of the show, they start out at the gender reveal. And during the gender reveal, I believe it was Lemuel's mother or somebody that said a prayer, and she said, God bless this baby, God bless the relation, God bless the baby in the relationship. And she said, God, I ask that you allow this to give them insight on what they need to do or reveal something like that within that. And within the relationship, and then boom, here we are. All of this stuff is coming out. So prayer is definitely a good thing, but I'm saying all that to say that the lady who did the prayer, his mother, whomever, I wasn't paying that much attention. Um, Maybe she just spoke that over time, over your relationship in your situation. And here you are having this baby, exposing your relationship on national television. Zeus is the most watched network or something right now, I believe, all for a check. And you are miserable while you're pregnant. The baby is feeling all of these emotions. And he's saying he loves her. This is how he keeps getting her. Oh, I love you. You are my world. He told her, you are my moon. You are my earth. His mother said, you are my earth. I'm sitting there like, the day a man told me I'm his earth, I'm going to punch him in his motherfucking face. You are my earth. And and he's telling her all of these things to do what? To like keep her there. And he very much well may feel that way. But at the same time, it's like, does he like, does he really feel that way? Because look at how he's treating you with the cameras on. So I can only imagine what he's saying when the camera's off. Always insulting the girl, talking about how she's white. I mean, he just is off the chain. However, this is why I say, yo, it made me, it was like, oh my gosh. However, you can't even be upset with him. Hi, Poppy. How are you? You can't even feel a way because back to the prior part of the beginning of the conversation that he told her, you knew all of this. You knew all of this. Before the baby, you was on go. They was girls on girls together. He was with her. Like before the baby, you was with it. When I was creeping on girl with you, you was with it. Now you don't want it, and now your feelings have changed, and now you believe that my feelings too should change just because I'm having a baby with you. And Andre, that goes back to your comment when you said about the dad, when you said he is willing to be a dad, and that he is, but he is not willing or going to stop being a hoe at the same time. So even in this part too, Andre, is it even right for us to label him a hoe? And that's why I said, man, it's a slippery slope. You guys, I mean, if we have any other ladies watching tonight that would chime in. And I know sometimes that when you guys do, you guys are really just listening too. Because it's like, can we really? Thank you for reposting and liking the live, Poppy. I appreciate you. Can we really? It's a jacked up situation, you know, with the fact that she's pregnant. And like I said, the baby's feeling all of these emotions. She's on this slippery slope, this roller coaster. And most of the time she's sitting there, she's not saying anything. Because he even brings it up again with her going through his stuff. And he said, I don't know why you keep doing that. He brought up again, I don't know why you keep doing that. In fact, I wish you stop. I come to your house, I don't go through your stuff. But you know what's funny with this situation with him? The day she goes, and y'all know I ain't lying when I say this, the day she goes and gets with someone, bring another man in that good house that he's paying for, he gonna lose his mind. He'll stop doing for her. I'm telling you. Because men like that or similar to him, I feel like cheating is a rich man's sport. That's how I feel, but it's definitely not with these people out here. But you definitely are going to get X'd out of some things. So I hope baby girl is saving her coins when she's getting the coins. And it's just so sad. Yo, I'm telling you, it's just so sad because it's somebody somewhere that we know who is not rich, we have to. And I posed a question to myself earlier and myself answered it. And I was like, when he said, why are you going through my things when you already know the answer? It's like, as a woman or a man or whomever, when we go looking, when they say you go looking, you're going to find it. Me, I feel differently. I feel like if I go looking, there should be nothing for me to find. That's just me. Just like if you was to go looking in my stuff, I promise you it's not going to be anything there for you to find either. Um, but I feel like when he says, why are you going to look when you already know that I do see other people, but I treat you good? He said, I'm going to treat you good and I'm going to take care of you. Now you gotta know he's a corny ball. Okay, he's a corny ball. He definitely gotta spend money. Andre said y'all ain't want to see no pictures, so I ain't pulling up no pictures. Because if you see this Gumby looking man, okay, and I said, well, I believe we also still go looking because we want to know, even when we know, because it's a part of us that wants to believe that we're different from what they're doing and can make them not want to continue to see other people. That's what I believe it is. You go looking even when you know. Not when you think you know, when you're trying to figure out what's going on. We ain't talking about that. When you go looking, when you do know, you're looking for some point of I got you or okay, when that's not even that. It's the fact that you go and looking because you want to make sure maybe that it stopped, that they're not doing it, that even though they're doing it, if you can find a way to see that they stopped, it'll make you feel like, oh, they do love me. Oh, I do matter more than the others. When the truth that's sad, the truth that's painful, the truth that's hurtful is you don't even matter at all. Because people do what they want to do, regardless of it. I am pretty sure, and I'm about to give you a try, and let me tell you why. These are all choices. Hey CJ, now that I'm off the road, I can respond. Okay, I appreciate you, sugar. And we talked about you earlier because Sanera beat you to the throne. And here it is. Y'all know. That's why I said I wanted to thank anybody who's ever contributed, or anybody who's ever given me a donation, anybody that subscribed to Patreon, anything, because now like this is my full-time income, right? So I'm very appreciative. That's why I put the links there and thanked everybody. This is the point. I went into the grocery store and I needed to get a few things. And I got a few things, and these were things that I needed because I was like, you know what, I want to do one stop. I didn't want to keep making multiple stops. Got to the cash register, I paid for it, and I was like, okay, cool. As I was leaving, I saw that it was two items in my cart that was hiding behind this big box because I bought a big box of toilet paper. I was like, I was like, shit, I forgot to put the juice and this sauce on the register. Now, for a split second, I got to be real. I was like, well, they ain't see it. I honestly had forgot about it. Plus, I was on the phone running my mouth. And I was like, all right, well, I'm going to just keep it pushing. You go, Lord, thank you for this blessing. This is free juice. But then I said, the Lord said, This is what we talked about a few weeks ago, where I said, ignorance is bliss, and I can't stand knowing better. And sometimes I wish I didn't know better. And how when I try to do what everybody else do, God always hit me like, you know better. I was like, I was still staying in the register. I said, no, put it on the counter and pay for it. Y'all ever have it in a moment? Y'all, I know I ain't by myself, but I don't even care because guess what? Only God can judge me. Okay. But it did. And I'm saying, when you're in a situation where certain moves and certain things count, it's like, yo, I ain't want to have to re-swipe, and I just swiped what I had to swipe, knowing what it is. And I was like, man, why the fuck you forget this? Hey, CJ. Right, y'all know I ain't lying. Let me know if anybody can relate. If not, I can understand if y'all want to be quiet to yourselves. But I rang it up and I paid for it and I added it to it. And I didn't feel bad about it. I left it there in that moment. Like, I left it there. But I'm like, I got home like, Lord, I hope you saw that. Oh, look, lyrics saying only God can judge me. Okay. Amen. I got home like, Jesus, I hope you saw that, and I get a check in the book for that. Send me a coin or something for that. And I was like, damn. He said, nah. What did he say? He said, nah, you right. Since better know us, we just got to do better. Yo, do you not know how bad, CJ, I wish better ain't know me? I wish better ain't know me sometimes. Y'all think I be playing when I tell y'all I wish I ain't know better when it comes to certain stuff. But I was like, I did it. I was like, no, I did come home like, Lord, I hope you saw that. But I also was like, it'll come back. God, you got me. No matter how low the income gets, no matter how low the funds get, no matter what I need, Lord, you got me. And I just got to trust that you got me. Okay, Lyric Levin, I got to trust that you got me. Okay, even if it don't look like it, I got to be like, fuck it, you got me. He said, no, you're right. Since he said, oh, I definitely feel you on that one. See, thank you, CJ. See, I ain't alone. Okay. So I was like, wow. So that's another thing, that anytime any of you guys send a donation in, whether it's through the website, whether it's through a cash app, whether you send stars, whether you donate, and well, not donate, but help me reach my goal on TikTok. Believe it or not, I always say a prayer for you guys. I always pray for God to bless the sower. That's why my donation link is called Sow into a Purpose. So I pray for anybody that's ever in any form that contributes to me monthly with the Patreons and things like that. I totally appreciate it because y'all don't know, okay? And so I am just like, damn, you know? So in that situation with Scotty, it's kind of like, yo, you did know that this man said he didn't want a traditional relationship. You guys planned to have this baby. Now your feelings have changed. Now you have to sit with yourself and say, was this a good decision, or is this still a good decision just because I wanted to continue to deal with this man knowing I wasn't the only one? You know what I mean? So that's why I'm like, child, that thing got me clenching and had me clenching my pearls, and I don't even wear pearls. And I was like, you guys, there's such a huge message within that show in itself, because it just shows how you get to see some people who are chasing the, what y'all call it, the clout, the Instagram, and wanting to put their relationships on there. She's like, you haven't taken a relation. She's like, you haven't taken a picture with me. Oh, whatever. And da 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 da. So it's just sad that we even as people are choosing to treat each other like that. And he's a clown. He's corny. And I'm not saying if he was not corny, that it would be acceptable. But I'm saying when a mother freaker look a certain kind of way to you or something, some stuff you'll be like, you lucky, you cute. You know what I mean? I don't know. I mean, it's such an oxymoron statement, but that's really what it is. And so now she's in a situation where, girl, you are bringing a baby into this. I don't care if he all planned it. And he said, you are my partner. I want to do more of life with you, experience life with you. He never said, I want to be with you for life and do life with you. He said he want to have more experiences in life with you. Like, come on. You about to have this man only child. He said, and Miss Sonera, I was checking the page for 15 minutes straight, but Miss Candace was late. So I went and got on the road. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Whoa. Did I just catch a stray? And for your information, oh y'all, this is a commercial. And for your information, if you were 15 minutes late, okay, I'm sorry, if you stayed on the page for 15 minutes, what she say to you, Jody? You a black ass lie, because I was only 12 minutes late. Now, I was only 12 minutes late because my first comment, boo-boo, was this one at 8:13. And I typed it at 8:12, but y'all know the internet have stuff populating. It's colder now. People do not. I didn't mean that. You didn't mean what? Okay, so I just want you to know. So if you stayed on here for 15 minutes today, right, he's still telling a black ass lie. Because I was only approximately 12 minutes late. So where was you at for the other 3 minutes, Knuckle? I'm so glad that the internet time stamped me. You see this foolishness, Andre? Yeah. Now I'm trying to make a point, and he's trying to make a point to Sonera that he was here before Sonera, and I'm the reason why he ain't stayed because he went and got on the road. What? And now let me do some soul searching and find out. Let me do some soul searching and find out when Sonera logged on. Cause see, this is what I'm saying. This is truth. Like Lemmy, when I give you the facts, you can't argue it. When is Sonera? And look, I said that at 8:13 and at 8:14, she never came through with the come through like, y'all, hey, what's up? Share the shout. Yeah, at 8:14. So even with me being 12 minutes late, she showed up. I showed up at 8:13 in the chat. That's what I've been on here. She showed up. The screen was blank for a minute and 33 seconds before I even came on, nickel. She showed up. Mm-hmm. And when did you show up? 9:09. 9:09 according to the time stamp. Stop playing with me. Y'all see this? Somebody come look at this. What's that? A bullshitter? He said, I tried it. It was only like 10 minutes. Well, we should have stuck around for 2 more. 2 more minutes. So if you was only here for 10 minutes, no, there's no way. You've had to have been only looking on the channel. Because if you were on here for 10 minutes, for the first minute and 33 seconds, you would have saw the background on the screen. See, this is another prime example of lies. People take it to the grave. Listen, we're going to argue you down. Motherfucker going to argue down a proof of point. She said, funny. Very. Look. Sonera ain't got no LOL for you. CJ, she ain't got nothing. Straight to the point. Funny. Exclamation mark. Like, checkmate, nigga. I'm just saying what she said. Okay? Because anytime somebody put that exclamation mark, that's like a checkmate. Oh, look at CJ. Look at Andre. He was being a safe driver. Well, we don't know when he was being a safe driver. The lies don't match the timeline. He has to be able to prove beyond a reasonable doubt. Come on. I'm so glad I came. I was able to feeling better to come here with you guys tonight. Look at Andre trying to say we the people. Well, he was being a safe driver, you know. And if that's the case, I'm with you when you're right. You know, I don't want you to crash trying to watch and log in the candy coated. What did he say? Psych, all jokes aside. Now, anytime anybody say psych, all jokes aside, here comes the real truth. Let's listen. Psych, all jokes aside. After I kept checking, but it wouldn't show, and I had to leave. Then I finally got on and didn't respond for like 20 minutes because I was thugging through traffic. You see how it is when you get put on that stand? He want to start to redact statements and shit. No, it was like 20, you know, it was 20. I didn't respond for like 20 minutes, you know. Look at this. Okay, so what would an attorney say? Okay, Mr. CJ. So is it fair to say that you aren't really sure when you showed up and what time and how long you actually stayed on? No further questions for this witness, Your Honor. No further questions, Your Honor. No further questions. This is a little cocktail I got in here. Oh, look. What did it say? I plead the fifth. You better. Glad you made it through traffic safely. Yes, me too. I am glad you made it through traffic safely. But you guys, before we wrap it up, because I ain't eat. Is that you guys have any further comments? I know you said you didn't get to comment, CJ, on that. But it was just you did get to comment. I'm sorry, I skipped your comment in the middle. I was trying to wean out your bullshit. And couldn't find it because you made me catch a stray that I ain't even. Whatever you and Sonera got going on, that's between you and Sonera. But you wanted to bring the host up in here. He said, I don't condone what the dude is on, but he's not wrong. She signed up for his game, so she either can play along or leave. You cannot change people. Yeah. And that's why I say, y'all, I can't, I'm not one of them. I can't just be with you because you're a woman and say, oh, it's mad, he's treating her like that. No, he's treating you like what you signed up for. So he's not treating you like anything. It just sucks that you're pregnant and about to give him his first child and have your first child. And this is what you chose. This is the situation you chose to bring the baby into. In that way. So if you feel sorry for anybody, feel sorry for the baby. Right? Because the baby ain't say, yo. Well, that's a whole nother conversation, but I ain't going there. But it's like, yo, you bringing the baby into it. And you're talking about, well, I don't want my child and my daughter to be embarrassed. No, baby, you really don't want you to be embarrassed. Now you're trying to use the baby as a pawn and a crutch. Let's say what it is now. That's why I couldn't direct some of those shows because y'all know I'll be like, hold up. No, that's not it. This don't even. They'd be like, get her off the set. I'm like, I'm just saying because you saying that it's for the baby, but it ain't for the baby because the baby ain't got nothing and ain't know nothing about nothing. You knew what it was and you chose to do that, and now you saying you don't want to be embarrassed. You don't want the baby to be embarrassed. No, you don't want the people to see how foolish you are and the choice you made and who you chose to have this baby with and the terms and conditions of the customizable situation that you chose. Don't throw that baby in here saying you don't want the baby to embarrass, thinking that that's gonna peer pressure that man into saying that. And he said, and I care too. That's what he said. He said, I understand how you feel. Yes, he did. Y'all gotta watch this shit. I wish we could play the sound. He did. He said, and I understand that. I feel the same way for the baby, and I understand how you feel. But I told you what it was. Yo, I'm sitting there like, don't you hate when somebody put you in a situation, no matter what it is, where you can't say nothing? You gotta be like, well, yeah, well, yeah. You be like, especially in your relationship and you love them, you be like, I can't stand you. Whether it may be just little silly stuff. So Nara said, I was going to ask you what you were drinking on. Girl, let me tell you. So at my daughter's party, she had a margaritas and mimosa party. You guys, make sure if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you give me a heart and thumbs up the video, okay? And we had margaritas and mimosas. I'm sorry, I'm lying. Mimos. So I had also requested lemon drops. Just in case people didn't want to keep drinking. Just in case people at her part gathering, because it was something small and intimate. So there, I requested lemon drops just in case they didn't want to continue to keep drinking margaritas, aka I'm the people. Right? So she made margaritas and she made lemon drops. Strawberry margaritas and the regular lemon drops. She made the lemon drops out of vodka and she made the margarita out of tequila. And I know you're like, well, why are you telling me that? Because you know me. I mixed them together. Y'all, I mixed these two things together at my daughter's party. Just like this. Like I have a half. It's half margarita, half lemon drop. And baby, mama was feeling good. Mama was feeling good, okay? And baby, I was like, ooh, I gotta mix it. And because we didn't have like the real fruit in it, so it's still good. Y'all know black people, we ain't wasting no liquor. So I filled up what we had left. Because the kids, listen, let me tell y'all, definitely a nice concoction. Listen, Sonera, if you were close by or if you wanted some, baby, I would give you some. I have the big water jug because y'all know Draco only drink This live is going to end in 5 minutes because Draco only drinks bottled water. So I get him the big bottled waters on top of the dispenser I got, but that's another subject. Um, when I'm going through the refill. So I have a jug of water. I'm sorry, the jug like this of the lemon drop and I had the cranberry juice. You know what I mean? The cranberry juice ocean spray container jug that's filled with the margarita. And baby, that's in the refrigerator. And when you let something sit, sort of like how I don't know if anybody know, but I know once upon a time back in the day, how if you let some reefer sit and it gets more potent, even with the liquor, maybe you let it sit, it gets a little more potent, shaking it out. I gave some to my friend the other day. She got some. Oh my goodness. I'm sitting here, I'm feeling good. hmm So when I want to have margaritas and not even margaritas, when I want to be having Taco Tuesday, or I begin to embrace my inner Mexicano. I'm putting this together, but I can't drink it all day. I can't drink it every day because let me tell you, I ain't no alcoholic now. And plus, the weather is breaking, and I'm going from being snuffleupagus back to being Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. Okay, I got to get back small. Okay, so I'm like, okay, and not too much, but not too much on me, girl. It's never not too much on me. I still have lost a lot of inches and things like that, but the wintertime, they call it bulk season. I call it chalk thick season. Okay. She said, "Oh yeah, that's nice and right." Listen, and it is so good. And once I begin to start like having things, me and the bartender, we've actually been working together to try to find, a venue that we don't have to pay for, child. Whereas though we can have something where, people can come to, we can do like networking, we can chit chat and just have have a good old time or whatever. Things like that for the low, okay. But she's really good. She was really good. And um it was a tequila that I had never had before. Um I gave her the wrong name of it. It's called Tromba. Child, and I had got a gallon of it. I got a gallon. In fact, we didn't even use the whole gallon because look, this is pure tequila. Black people don't judge me. Mind y'all business. Some of y'all got liquor and stuff that y'all ain't got no business in either. Y'all still be putting y'all kitchen cooking frying grease in jars and mayonnaise jars. So don't judge me. And this is the tequila. So even out of all of that she made that was in the jug, like I said, it was a gallon of tequila. Look, still more than half of 16 ounces is left. This is the Tromba tequila. And I was like, girl, we gonna go ahead and put that over here to the side. But I do have some tequila bottles since I done showed y'all, and now I feel like y'all judging. I'm wondering if I should just pour it in this. This is Kevin Hart's tequila bottle. I wonder if I should just pour it in this. I don't know. Tomato. That's old school. Let them ingredients simmer. Yeah, they have, and it's good. So whenever anybody decides that they want to stop by and say hello, which isn't often, nobody come see me, child. Um, I'm like, hey, do you want a cocktail? Do you want a cocktail? But this thing right here is good. Pour it in the glass. The liquor might melt. The liquor might melt it through. Well, it's been in there since it's been in that plastic container since the 21st of March. I ain't never heard of tequila melting plastic. Have y'all? CJ, let me find out you making up stuff. You know your words on. You aren't too trustworthy with this last transcript we just went over. But I do have something else that I could put. Look, I do have something else that I could potentially put it in. However, it'll be sitting here just with like with the other liquor. You know, I don't know why black people sometimes we have an empty bottle. We like to keep it for decor, child. But maybe it's just to be like, oh yeah, I've had that. It's gone. It's been there. Um, Now, if anything, I'll take a little spoolie thing and wash that bottle out and pour it in Kevin Hart's bottle. He said, for real, or maybe I'm thinking about dark liquor. I don't know. Because I still have that liqueur that I brought back from Mexico. That is delicious. Now, that liqueur is the bomb in some coffee. And I don't even drink coffee or some hot chocolate. Okay. If you know, you know. And then this has been here since for a few years. Coach, remember dating Coach Nick Love? He brought this to the 4-year anniversary that I had of the show. He brought this to the house when I had the cooking show. So and this is vodka. So that's been here for a few. So yeah, so everything is sitting because they said alcohol doesn't go bad. But what I am gonna do though, CJ, before we get out of here, I used to keep bottles when I was in my 20s, and I used to keep it all my Crown Royal bags. I do. You ain't saying nothing but a word player. Look at that, okay? And I don't even drink it. But um, before I get out of here, I am going to dang, I was telling you something, and then the thought left. But look at that. You see that? Still, still filled to the top. Still filled to the top. So what I am going to do though, I forgot. I can't even lie. But I definitely need to do something. I definitely need to like maybe like put it inside of something. I'm not sure, but as you can see, that one was still filled to the top. And it's not like when people come over, I'm like, hey, do you want a drink? That's not even what I'm doing. But I definitely want to get something to get that together. And I do have like bottles of wine and some gin or something, whatever it is, over here. I'm not quite sure, but this has been extremely fun. But yeah, this is what I'm sipping on tonight. And I haven't really eaten since 12:30 today. Really, I haven't eaten since 12:30. I came in, got the carpet together. I have finally made it up in my mind. I am just going to go ahead and have to get new carpet put in the living room. I'm so tired of shampooing my carpet from Draco. So whereas though I am just going to have to end up changing my carpet and putting the gate up so he can't do what he do because mama is tired. So I got in the house today. I shampooed the rug. I made some spaghetti for dinner. My nephew came and like brought me Chipotle. Haven't eaten the Chipotle. Didn't get to eat anything. Oh, that's what I was about to say. So you know when you get the drinking and you haven't eaten, you feel it a little more. At least for me, anyway. So I haven't gotten to eat anything, and so I'm going to eat, and then I'm going to decompress, take off this wrap, and release my inner Miss Sealy underneath here because I took my hair out of those braids and was trifling and didn't do anything else to it. But I will get my hair done next week. I'm gonna treat it and condition it. Um, I'm just now like starting to feel better, like I said, and I didn't want to wash my hair, have my hair under the water with that cold. But this was fun. I'm glad I got. He said, "No, that's a fact." Yeah, so I'm glad we got the chit chat, and I hope that we were all able to take something away from it. I know I did, even though um, I'm not in that situation, and I wouldn't put myself in that situation, especially having up somebody else's baby. Now, my baby is exactly 4 grown 22. Okay, um, I pop out a baby child, it better be with my husband. And then even that baby is coming with a contract because, baby, if we don't work out and you decide you don't want this no more, the baby comes with you. Yep, I'm standing beside it. That has been my alma mater for the last 17 years. I am not going to collect $200 when I pass go. We gotta get a contract. Y'all can out here and get prenups. We gotta get a baby nup. And I'm dead ass 1000% on Candy Coated Secrets serious. Um, and I said that I don't mind you calling me a deadbeat. I'm not saying I won't want to be bothered with the baby. I'm just saying that I ain't gonna have the baby all the time. I will not be what they call it in the courts. I believe that is called the custodial parent. I will not be the custodial parent. I, I'll be like, I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. Okay. Say what you want. Talk about me. Yes, that baby will say, my mom didn't raise me. She was always on the road and the nanny raised me. And I will stand with that baby and say, I do understand and I do know that. And I can't deny it. I'm going to hit him with the lemmy. Your daddy knew this wasn't no customizable baby shit. Your daddy knew I ain't want no cut. The daddy knew I ain't want no traditional baby. Ain't that some shit? Your father knew I didn't want no traditional baby. Girl, you was a little boy, you were a customizable baby, okay? Yo, could you imagine explaining that to your kid? Could you imagine explaining that to your baby? Oh my God. But I'm so serious. My child is grown. I am not so no. Yes, a customizable baby ship. I did, sir. Listen and listen. I make it known. I stand with Lemuel. I make it known. Period. I don't want it. I don't want it. This ain't with me here. And if I do, you gotta put a ring up on here, and the marriage has to come before the baby. And even that ain't guaranteed. And there's still some prenups and baby nups that's gonna be up in this contract. Yes, it is. Mm-hmm. Somebody once asked me, said, would you, before I get out of here, they said, would you, knowing what you know, like having your business and building your business and all of that and all that stuff that you're doing, and once you blow and you meet somebody and the things change and the relationship change, would you do the prenup thing? Because at first I was against it. It was like, would you do the prenup thing? I'm like, as I'm looking back and all of that and seeing that Jussie Smollett's sister, I forget her first name. I love her. That in her divorce, her husband, who I think is like really a nobody, wants alimony, and he requested half, damn near half of her earnings from movies and stuff. And I think it was granted. Oh my God. I said, yeah, I got to get some, I got to get the nuptial. I got to get the nuptial. We got to get a clause around this motherfucker. Gotta respect the person being upfront, like it or not. Gotta get a clause. Yeah, because I feel like if you get a prenup, right? And I feel like that people who get the prenups probably just aren't thinking. And you could always get a prenup and hit him with the Shawnee. Remember when Shaq was mad when he found out that Shawnee was throughout their whole marriage and time and stuff they were together, she was taking some money and putting that coinage to the side. You got to be smart if you're gonna with Scotty. If you're gonna sign up for these customizable situations, girl, you got to have a little brains. You that nigga taking you on trips and buying you bags and shopping sprees, girl. But Prada don't know you. You better take that $1,500 bag and put it in a bank account and continue to spend that money, okay? He said, sucker shit, just like Mary J. Blige's husband. Yeah. But you know what? Is it really suckership? If because I feel like if you do go if you are married and you do get divorced, like, these are the rules that come with being married. What they say, you do what it was when you signed up for it. This is what comes with marriage. And if the marriage says we get divorced, I can take you for everything you got. I'm gonna at least try to take you for everything you got. But then again, I don't know, because it's just like, yo, if I don't want you and you don't want me, then baby, let's just look. I'm gonna give you your name back. You could take that. You want this house or that house? You want to? Okay, but we can just do that and go ahead about our business. However, if the marriage comes to an end because it is tumultuous, okay, yeah, you better believe, mother freaker, we're not married because you did X, Y, and Z. I don't want to be here because you did X, Y, and Z. I don't want that house you brought a woman in. I don't want that car or whatever it may be. Or you didn't allow me to work. So yeah, I need you to clock that and run me my coin. Some of y'all might call it revenge or anger. I'm gonna call it I ain't there yet. So this is what I want. You know what I mean? Angela Bassett, what her name is, when she was Tina Turner, the only one I know, she said, I don't want nothing he got but my name because I worked too hard for it. The name stays home, the clothes, the money, she can have all that stuff, but the name stays home, and the name, what do you say? The name got my daddy's blood on it. And they gave her name. So I get that too. Sometimes it's just like, you ain't worth it. It ain't worth the half. I don't want nothing from you, my nigga. Just give me my name. But I don't even want that. But I get why she kept it, because that's how her brand, her business was built off of that. People knew her by that. Nobody knew her by Anime Bullock. Like, now presenting Anime Bullock. People like, well, who's that? That's Tina Turner. Oh, for real? Yeah, you know that's her real name? Oh, okay. So I get why she kept that. Yeah, because I'm not gonna take from her what I didn't help her build. And I believe, and I contribute, girl, child. Hold up, girl. It's the liquor. No, I definitely understand that too. Because it is one of those things like, yo, if we gonna break up and we're gonna go through the divorce, and this is what I qualify for, yo, if I did not contribute to anything with your business, I don't want nothing from your business. However, if during the time that you had said business, you sat down with me and I helped you come up with an idea, I gave you a deadline, I gave you some goals, and what do you say? I got some clothes, some jewelry, some money, and I gave you some tips. I do want to be accounted for. Might not be 20 million, but I definitely need one. Okay. You say now if we both built the riches together, then of course I want half. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's a no brainer. Okay. What they call that? We're gonna call it a no price. Okay. But even still with that, right? When I looked at that case, when I saw that, that's just how I feel. I don't have a problem, and this is why, and this might be a little fucked up to say, but I wouldn't mind having a prenuptial agreement if I get to contribute to what said prenuptial can say. Now, hear me out. Whew. And I know this might be a little double standard. I know that somebody might not feel it. I know somebody might not know what it is, but it's what it is. Okay. Now, I don't mind having a prenup, because I know in my prenuptial agreement, it's going to say, if the marriage comes to an end because you committed adultery, right? I might be praying on a week, child, because y'all men, we got to keep it being y'all men. Y'all is weak for the flesh. If it is that you committed said adultery, it is proven that you committed said adultery. I learned of said adultery. There are babies in said adultery. Adultery. There is no such thing as we can separate during said marriage. We got to go through the wire through said marriage, because you signed up for said marriage and said that for better or worse. And for better or worse in said marriage, for my marriage does not consist of adultery, right? Of any kind, right? If that is what this is going to be in the prenup, because you got to know yourself. I I was in a 17-year relationship. That man did whatever he did. He was a hoe, a pure hoe. Okay. And um my character is not, I don't have a cheating defect character, no matter how jacked up the relationship is, right? So you got to know yourself. See, this clause can't be in everybody's shit. So that is going to be in my prenuptial clause because I'm not that, right? I'm one who will go through the wire. Nigga, I did it with somebody I wasn't even married to, okay? Like a fool, with my pants on the ground. So that's gonna be in my prenup. So I don't mind having a prenup. And if I too end up messing around and you want to say, well, if you mess around, this is what I want, whatever, put it in the prenup. I'm not going to dispute. And if you say that if you catch me and we come to an end because of my doing, and you find out X, Y, and Z, and you want the Beamer, the Benz, the Bentley, and the dog, and you want the two houses over the lake houses over there in Italy, and then you want the other one down in goddamn Belize, and you want the family beachfront, but I can keep the house over here that we got in Europe. I can keep the house in Miami. I can keep the house in Ohio. I could keep the house over in Belize. Cool. But if I freak up, you get all of this. I promise I'll sign my name on the dollar line without a problem. Oh, I hit you with is that all? And it's sad to say, it made me sad to say, but I'm going to hit you. Oh. And don't forget, you walk away with said children conceived in the marriage as the sole custodial primary parent, and I am the non-custodial parent. That has to go in there too if the relationship ends. And I am the weekend parent. That has to be in there too. Judge your mother, don't judge me. None of God has it changed and blessed it on me for me to change my heart in that direction. I'll let you know. But here we are, 22 years later, and that has not changed. Okay, but that's going to be in there too. Okay, cool. Especially if I'm only having children because said husband wants kids. Because I'm done. If I pop out a baby, you best to believe it's because he asked me to. And there's a ring on the finger. We ain't doing that. Until then, we're going to be abort mission. We are not collecting gold. We are not getting $200. We are passing by Park Avenue and Broadway Place, okay? Park Place and Baltic Avenue, along with the R&R Railroads. Yeah, you're not hitting me on no dummy mission. You're not hitting me on no dummy mission. So I am okay with it because I know, nigga, we ain't gonna come to it into me, but because the male counterparts have a tendency of being able to do, a little tempting. And instead of wanting to talk to your partner about your problems, some of you guys like to go ahead and put your dipstick into another dipstick. Okay. So, yeah, baby, I'm going to win this all day. Sit back with my feet up. Sit back with my feet up. So, that's my clause. So, yeah, if we get together and you want to get married, you want a prenup, nigga, I'll sign one. That shit gonna come with a paragraph. I think it's only fair that both parties get to contribute to the prenup because both of y'all will have things to uphold to the real test of for better or worse. Yeah, absolutely. And for better or worse is when I don't like you, when you don't like me, when your hair start balding and I gain a couple pounds, or your breath is stinking a little too much, and I keep farting in front of you, and I keep doing all these extra things, and we can't figure out if we want the kids to play hockey, soccer, or goddamn gymnastics, or you don't know what you want to eat today, or I'm not cooking, or I don't feel like it, or I hit a depression within myself and I don't want to do anything, and you hit your depression and I'm there with you while you're doing it, or you're just feeling the weight of the world on you because of the man that you are. I am there for that part of for better or worse. My for better or worse is not because you out here putting your potato tail and your alligator tail into any and everything. There's no judgment. I condone and love anyone else who can do it and they move past it. But I'm telling you, for me, I've had my fair share of infidelity as a girlfriend turned baby mama. And I don't got time for it. You get older, you get wiser. The best thing in life to know what you don't want is to find out and learn and know what you do want. And I know what I want for me. That's what this show is showing you. That is the overall message in this show and the show of Lemmy and Scotty. You have to know what you want for your life, even if you want it to be with another person. And how it start out, it can change, but you have to speak on and make those said changes, announce them. Because at the end of the day, before I get out of here, Scotty was okay with the customizable relationship Lemmy propositioned her with before she got a baby. And then her feelings and hormones as a mother. And then as you grow, as people, we naturally change every 7 years. It changed. And just like any relationship, if one person is growing and changing and the other one isn't, you're going to fight the inevitable of the relationship ending anyway. Some people can rip it off right away and deal with the healing and the process right while it's happening. And some other people have to be in it and stay in it a little longer. I've been a victim of both. And I don't like that victim word because I'm far from a victim. I'm victorious. So I have experienced both, been on both ends of that sword. And I will say the one that was the hardest was choosing myself. That was the hardest one. That's the one that made me cry the most. That's the one when I realized how brave I was, how much courage I had. That was the situation where I walked away no matter how much fun it was, no matter how good at the moment the sex was. Because let's be real, the sex is only good as long as you're still interested in the person. Hate to break it to you, fellas, but we only like you as long as we are still emotionally connected to you. Once the feelings go, the coochie go later. Okay. We realize that is another alligator tail out here that's a lot better than yours. Okay. Uh, um, and things like that. And that's what it was. It was, I can remember, like I say, I called my friend when I did it, honestly, and I was like crying. And I said to her, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm choosing me. I can't believe I'm choosing me. I can't believe that, because your history will tell you what you can and deal with, what you can and can't deal with. So if you stayed with someone who cheated, or you stayed with a liar, or you stayed with a gambler, an alcoholic, or anything like that, and you were able to do it, or if you stayed through break babies and things like that, the next time you experience it with someone else, your track record shows you can deal with it because you've dealt with it in your prior situations. If you chose to stay, you understand? Um, but if you walked away from any of those situations too, you'll see that there too. But this was my very first time. I would never forget it. Me and my friend, we still talk about this. That was my very first time that I was like, oh my goodness, I'm choosing that no matter how much fun I have with this clown, no matter how good at the moment the sex was, that it wasn't. No matter how many things that I liked about this individual, and some of the freedom of not having the pressure and still being able to do what I do, without them not feeling like they're being placed second. It was like, oh, that was fun. No matter how much I liked that, what they could offer, or more so what they came to the table with, I was like, that was not for me. Like God was showing me so many signs, so many flags that was like, this is not who I have for you. And this is not the situation for you or the relationship. And I was on the phone crying because I chose me. And of course, with anything, there's always that back and forth. But it was like I had went months and all that when I was talking to them, and then they pop up, and then it's like, oh, whatever. But it's like, no, I chose me, and I was continuing to grow, and I learned so much more about me in that moment. So yes, choosing you is scary. Choosing you is vulnerable. Choosing you outside of all the things that you see that your situation or that relationship brings you, yo, that to me, that was one of the me and my friend, we used to talk about that. I feel like that choosing you in any situation is the most difficult and the hardest decision that uh we make, you have to make as a person. Loving you enough to say no, especially when you have to say no to someone that you may like. Now, did I love this person? Absolutely not. You know what I mean? Sorry to say it like that, but y'all get with it. Absolutely not. That it was not love. It was not love. Did I exchange those words? Absolutely. Should I was I petty for exchanging saying I love you when they say I love you too, knowing I didn't feel that way? Absolutely not. I was being courteous. And I know that, saying that now out loud, it's like, girl, I was being courteous. Stop being courteous. If someone tells you they love you and you don't love them, just say, oh, that's nice. I don't know what to say. I haven't figured that part out yet. But it's definitely not a I love you too. And so with that, I always say, like, those people were not bad people. They just were not the people for me, but they are great men for people who, well, when I say people, like people ain't the people. Then I'm sounding like the goddamn conservatives. Ah! I just turned into a Republican for 20 seconds. Um, those guys were great guys. They are great guys for women who want that in a guy. You know what I'm saying? Um, so I don't even say that, but yeah, choosing you is difficult. Choosing you is very hard. And I'm still working on finishing up the stuff with the book because these people, but that's basically like the overall message and the guidance in the book, How to Get Over Heartbreak in 10 Days, is like choosing you is difficult because it gets lonely, it's sad. You go through all the emotions of grieving, all of that, the wanting it to get better. But ultimately, it's like, yo, if this was supposed to be, it would be. Because God says his words, and he says he's not a liar, and we know he's not a liar. I don't know what you believe, but I'm telling you what I believe. That anything that's for you, anything that he gives you that's for you will not be hard and difficult. So I also look at that as well, Um, and I just kept it moving. And baby, once I chose me and put me first, I ain't gonna lie, that added to my cockiness. Okay. What they call it? My cocky fresh or something. That added to me because now it's like, mm-mm. I already know it's going to be the emotions. I already know what I need to do to get my mind off of it. I already know. Let's see, I'm okay with moving past a situation or a relationship without having to involve somebody else. Back when I was a little young whippersnapper, they say in order to get over one person, you got to get under somebody new. Toxic. I've been past that. No, I'll be by me and heal. I'll be by my lonely and heal. I'll be by my lonely and go through the process and process the situation because, baby, you better believe I'm trying to figure out and praying and talking to God, asking God how not to get me caught up with another you. Um, CJ says, I am 10,000% with you on that, Candace, because I never had a cheating bone in my body. Easy peasy. Beautiful cover girl. I know that's right. According to everything you just said, it feels like I've been married already because I've been there for people through all of that and some, and I never stepped out. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, we be loyal to a fault, my nigga. Like, and the crazy part is, like, yo, we'll be loyal to people and they ain't ask us that. And the first thing that I can't stand when you do something and you bring it to somebody's attention, you're like, yeah, well, I did X, Y, and Z. When a motherfucker go ahead and they can hit you with the, I ain't asked you to do that. Who? I ain't tell you to do that. Who? I ain't put no gun in your head for you to do that. That is the quickest way to get me to go and punch you straight in your mouth. Okay? That is the quickest reality check. And I'm gonna give you, and that ain't even the only way to reality check me. I remember at one point in time, ages ago, this guy I was seeing, he had did something. Like I normally I'm usually the same way how I am. Like I'm an open book, you know. And I remember that he didn't know that my reaction to something was a reaction from okay, get let me end this live won't take time. And then I'm gonna go. Was a reaction, was a trigger from something from my past because like I told you, the situations was like so similar. I swear, y'all, this dude was like my baby daddy reincarnated, but he wasn't reincarnated because my baby father is still very much alive. Um, but it was him like 10.0. And in that moment, I saw it, and God was speaking to me, and I saw it, and I knew how it was going to go, right? And I was caught up in the trance of what had transpired eons prior to, right? And when me and that person discussed, was talking, this mother freaker said, I didn't know you loved me. Sounding like Lemmy. This is why I told y'all, that damn Lemmy. I didn't know you were in love with me like that because of how you reacted. I said, what? I ain't lying, true story. He said, I didn't know you were in love with me because like that until like how you reacted. I didn't know you were in love with me like that. I said, I ain't even say to him. Cause sometimes, y'all, you gotta let a motherfucker say some things to you in the heat of the moment, or as they say, the heat of the night. Cause if you listening without your emotions, a motherfucker gut check and chin check you real quick. And if you know, you know. It might just have ever happened to me. When he said that, I sat up in my seat in my car. I said, wait a minute. This motherfucker think that I'm a nigga. This is my trauma that has risen to the surface. Ooh, this is my trauma that came to the surface, and you don't recognize it because it ain't your trauma, it's mine. And I ain't gotta tell you that because that's between me and the man upstairs, right? I was like, oh hell no. I promise you, that was the last time, the last conversation. I swear, if I'm lying a little straight, I am not lying to you. That was the last time I said anything to that human being on this planet Earth years ago. Last time. Got the fact that you don't know, I am reacting because I tell you guys, I remember one of my friends was talking to me one day and was like, when I was talking to them about just different things and just throughout the years, and they were like, even my homegirl, she does that too. She was like, yo, if I didn't know, I mean, I've seen your show where you talk about it, but was like, I didn't know, like, you really do be working on yourself every day. Like you really do be going through the motions and so I'm like, yeah. I don't just come up here and be talking. What they say, I'm not an internet personality. I'm not a caricature. This is real what I be saying. And they was like, damn. So when now going forward, even back then, once I began to like change, you know how sometimes we could get into a relationship, or we could get the new job, we could get the money or the promotion or whatever it is that we've been wanting, we've been praying for, or just whatever it is when you get what you want, right? It can make you lackadaisy. You can stop, like, you'll stop praying, you'll stop with your schedule, you'll stop doing things you normally do, right? So usually when I would be in my relationship, I would stop. But during that go around of relationships, I continue to speak to God through it and pray. Nothing was wrong, but I kept my connection even though something changed that added and brought some happiness into my life during that moment, that added to my happiness. I continued to still pray. I continued to still meditate. I continued to still, keep that connection with God. And that was something that I hadn't ever had in my prior relationships. Okay. That's something that I didn't do, should I say. And I was like, no, I'm going to continue to do this. So, he wouldn't allow me, God wouldn't even allow me to go to sleep in the relationship to not see what's going on. And that was what I did differently in that situation. And by me doing that, and even though I went through some food back and forth with them to a degree, like we do as people, we work through the kinks. I knew that this wasn't for me, but it was fun. And like I said, I liked the sex until I didn't and all that other stuff. So it was like, I did learn and see what I did like that I would like in my next situation, like family oriented people, things like that. I was like, oh, this is cool. I like that. I can deal with that. Still the no kids. But at the same time, I saw that and it was like, okay, so because it wasn't all bad. But because I had kept that line of communication with God, I was like, God, don't let me go to sleep in this situation. Show me, continue to keep me on track with me. What do you want me to do? What do you have for my life? What is it you want me to be aware of? Just how I talk to God about my daily stuff. And this mother freaker stuff was coming and he just was showing like, I don't want you with this person. This right here ain't your friend. This could, I mean, things. I mean, it was just moving. So many things, and I kept God in. I kept God in the relationship with me while I did that. So when that motherfucker said, because my trauma had rose to the surface, that motherfucker thought I reacted the way I did because I was in love with them. I was like, yeah. And I promise you not, that was the very last time that person has ever spoken to me. Ever, ever in this lifetime. Because sometimes you need a reality check. It shocked me out of my trance of my trauma, but I knew I did not love them. I have love for everybody, but I know what I look like when I'm in love, and I know what being in love is for me. And the fact that this motherfucker thought that I was in love with them because I'm confronting them about lying for being a liar. And I'm coming to you like, why are you lying? Like, this doesn't make no sense. Like, I'm trying to give you the benefit, but why are you lying? And they were still lying, be, trying to hide their shit. I was like, no, I'm human. I'm pissed off because you lied. Like, I'm really somebody you don't got to lie to. And I don't give a F about what you were doing. Why are you lying? But it don't even matter. Because in this moment of lies, me asking you about it is making you think I'm in love. So the quickest thing and the best thing I can do for you is show you just how much of not in love or loving you I am. And I kept it moving. Sure did. So it's different for people. So that's why I say doing some of these conversations, or arguments, or whatever disagreements, where I hear what people saying. I listen to what they're not saying. I listen to what they're not saying. I moved on. You're a child. I moved on so well. I was with my daughter for 17 years. I was in love. I love that man. I know what I look like when I'm in love. I've stayed even when it hurt. Now I don't think I'm there like that no more because the Lord did some numbers on me and we've been working and I've been working and working and working and working. But if I was in love with you, my nigga, I'd have stayed. If I was in love with you, I'd have tried to continue to work through. I'm not trying to work through shit with somebody that's not my husband. Sorry, excuse the language. Blame it on this. But it's the truth. And I feel like a lot of times we get into relationships and we go through so much. We will experience and go through so much with people because we have that. What did CJ say? That I'm gonna find that comment. What'd you say? The test of for better or worse. The putting up when he says in that little paragraph, the test of um this right here, dealing with people through all of everything that they're bringing to you. I'm sorry. we can grow and we have challenges and different things that we're going to do as people. But me at this big grown age, I say it all the time. I am not dealing with the things that my child is dealing with in her relationships or will deal with in her relationships. Now you can call it what you want. I said, I'm my daughter at the time, my daughter was a teenager. I'm not dealing with this crap with you. And this is the stuff that my teenage daughter is dealing with. You're a liar. So now that she in her, her 20s, and I'm not dealing with some shit we were supposed to have worked out from adolescence to through puberty. I'm not dealing with that. You think I'm about to be 50, 40, 60 something years old still talking to you about why you don't know how to communicate and return phone calls, or why the lack of communication has stopped, or why you lying, or saying what they say, you fall asleep at your mother's house or you forgot your phone. We're not doing that. You better go get you a fool. This is a grown woman business over here. This is a grown woman table over here. I ain't dealing with that. And I'm not, I don't deal with things that you don't have to deal with me. But I wasn't always like that. It took growth. It took years. Like my cousin, my life coach, taught me all of this stuff, self-love. And I continue to get my relationship with God and read and all that. And he teaches me love. Like, this is not anything that hurts you, anything that has you second guessing, anything that brings you down, anyone that talks to you any kind of way, anyone that mishandles you, even when they're hurting you, or and things like that. That is not loving yourself. Folding and going against your own boundaries, that's not loving yourself. So, not setting the standard for yourself high, that's not it. That's not it. Um, that's not it. And, and the more I learn, the more I get better, and I ask them to help me. So yeah, we ain't doing that. I feel that people don't even be on it the same way you are, and will let you go through so much with them just to leave. Yeah. And so it's not, and I'm not saying that if you're married to someone, right, that it makes it better. I'm not saying that, because even in a marriage, the one thing that'll make me say no to a marriage and fold on a marriage is the infidelity. Or unless I find out like some stuff like you didn't mess with kids or some shit or something like that, like all of that stuff. But outside of that, Lord knows I don't want that. I have not experienced that. Pray never to experience that. But like the infidelity and all that stuff, like I dealt with that and I don't want to deal with that. I'm not dealing with that, because if you're enough for me, I should be enough for you. And if I'm not, it's okay, because sometimes you have to get mailed to the wrong address a few times. That's all right. Just put the little undeliverable or return to sender address package on me and send me on my way. But I don't even need you to put the package on me, baby, in the label. I'm gonna put it on myself. You win. Because what my track record shows is they always try to spin the bin. I wish I had a microphone or something to go shabosh, drop the bomb. So it's just like, once you know that, once you pay attention and you know your history and you know what goes on, you don't sweat the small stuff. Does it always feel good? Absolutely not. When you're going through it, does it not? But no, it comes to a point. It gets to a point. I'm so big on communication now because I'm too old for the bullshit and the mind reading and guessing games. Yeah. Could you imagine being like over 40 or over 50 and you still trying to figure out what somebody mean? No, I'm not doing that. You're too old. What they say, at 20, man is a fool. At 30, man is a bigger fool. And at 40, man realizes that he is a fool. My cousin told me that. So yeah, I ain't got time. You had 3 decades to try to get it right. Even the man on Martin said old fools used to be young fools. What Martin do? Went and got Gina. And I did say that that was a pretty much a relationship that we did get to see on television. That really was a positive one. It had its ups and downs, but she ain't never Gina never caught Martin cheating. I may have missed the episode if they did, but let me know if I'm wrong. She thought so with the teacher, but that wasn't right. But Gina and Martin didn't break up because of cheating. So I do feel like, we like to give a lot of recognition to like the Cosbys and all of them for what they gave to the black community and the culture, just with the family essence and family matters and things like that. However, as far as the unmarried life until they got married, Martin didn't take Gina to do bullshit. Martin took Gina to do regular. Martin and Gina went through regular, normal, regular, specular, degular, growing bullshit life. He didn't catch Gina cheating. Gina didn't catch him cheating. Like, if you really look at that show, I feel like that show was really and should have had and I hope it did a big, huge, more positive impact. Yeah, they did break up at one point and go see new people. But even though we knew that they went and they saw new people, we knew it was only because Gina was no longer on the show. You get what I'm saying? So it had to end kind of strange. You get what I'm saying? We didn't keep seeing Gina on the show. She's passing them by through things. No, it was like, oh, we know that they changed. They broke up. And even when they broke up, it was more like it was their life paths changed, which is something else that contributes to people going their separate ways as well. And so I feel like, just my opinion, that um Martin was the most realistic show, the closest to relationships, from how it looks when your girlfriend has her homegirl and y'all may bicker and stuff, or you got your homeboys and your girlfriend has this one homegirl. They may always be around, they go on group trips, and then one of your homeboys start liking the homegirl. That's just really, to me, like how it went. The mother, Mama Payne, and then the father, she had so I liked it. Gina had two parents, her parents were married. If we really take a look at the show, Martin was the mama's boy who was raised by the single mother. If we really unpack, you know how I do. If we really unpack the show and look at it, it really reflected what happens in our community and our culture, but it was positive. Gina had a key to his house, things like that. I don't think he ever had a key to her house because she lived with Pam. Now, some people today might got a roommate and they got their nigga to have a key, and then you get mad because you find out that he in there sleeping with a roommate. Y'all seen Players Club. So, and things like that. So Martin was really a great show. What it looks like, and she was with Martin when I think when they got married is when he lost his job and things like that. They wanted a baby, but they never had the baby. They had some pregnancy scares and and things like that. But overall, Martin really was a great positive impact. And I'm like, damn, I think that maybe since culture and society likes to see what they see on television, Martin no longer comes on because this new generation hasn't seen Martin, but they have seen Stevie J and Peter Guns and Lil Scrappy and Young Jock and all them on those, and Blueface and YNB, what name is YNB Young Boy or whatever his name is, child. I don't know. We have seen that. Now we have Lemmy and Scotty, and she's selling herself and miserable with a baby for a check. And then on top of that, now you have the people who are upset with Lotto because they trying to say 21 Savage is married or he not married, but she's having a baby, and everybody's like, oh, that's cute. But on the other hand, they're saying, oh, Clarissa Shields was crazy for dealing with Papoose because Papoose is married, and she's saying she wants children with a married man. It's just so much foolishness that is being blasted, that is affecting the people who can't dissect reality from real life, entertainment from real life. Um, let's see. I think that's why we all love Martin so much, because it was way too relatable. Yeah, and when Martin was out, child, I wasn't even that old. You know what I'm saying? I ain't had no relationship. But you got to see it like, okay, they made some decisions. He had his own career, she had her own career. Just how it is in society today. She made more than him in that show in the corporate America, and he worked as well and I guess radio is considered corporate, but he was the radio host, and it was still that hierarchy of where it was perceived that she made more money, and I think he did say it a few times that she made more money than him, but you never, he had the moments of like where he tried to put his foot down, like step, Gina, step, and she was like bye, but he was like no, 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 like Martin really wanted Gina, and he loved Gina, and during the 90s and stuff when that show was out, it was a beautiful show of showing what a relationship can look like when there's trust there completely, um just the regular ups and downs of life, when there's no infidelity, when there's no like lies that much, like being told, nothing damaging being done. He wasn't abusive to Gina. He didn't beat Gina. You never seen Gina hit him. You never seen him. Now that I think about it, there was never an episode on Martin where there was even a inkling that they got physical. Did y'all know that? I didn't even realize that until in this moment. There was never a moment on an episode, and I may have missed it. If you do find it, let me know. But I never seen, there was never an episode on Martin that I saw where they even displayed the domestic violence in relationships. And that says a lot, especially even back then, because, we as Black people are always held to this different standard. So it's just like, maybe, I feel like we need more shows like that to come back to let people see, okay, although it looks like that, but it can look like this too. And I know y'all don't like Tyler Perry because y'all say that he always got the same storyline. Y'all say that he always got the same sex stuff going on in his things. But at the end of the day, I will give you this. Tyler Perry shows and his movies do have messages in them, and he does always have successful Black people in them, whether the people playing may be a lawyer or own a company and things like that. Now, you might not like the storyline. You might not like the storyline, but he does show you shows where Black people are thriving and are successful. And that's why our current society is cooked along with the help of the internet, straight foolishness. Yeah. You know what? I think you're right. I don't think Martin ever raised his hand at Gina. He never did. He never did. He never put his hands on Gina. We never saw that. Family Matters, we never saw that. Bill Cosby, he might have been putting roofies into drinks, but you ain't never see him yoke up Claire. We saw that. We saw where they may have even raised their voice, and Claire's like, "Are you talking to me like that?" And he piped down because that's his wife, not because he a sucker or what they call it, not because he a simp, not because he was wearing the pants. I think they both were doctors or she was a lawyer. I don't know. I didn't really watch the Cosby's like that, but it was the whole thing of, hey, I'm your wife. Who you talking to? And stand corrected, um, and that's that with that. So I think we do need more positive shows. But again, a lot of these shows that are on today are reflections of what's really going on as well. So yeah, y'all. I got to eat. I've been on here for 2 hours. Look, look, it says 2 hours and 13 minutes. That's my birthday, 213. Let me make a wish. All right, I'm done. Not gonna lie, I never been a big fan of Tyler Perry, but he tells his stories from his point of view, and he put on other Black people in the process. So I'm not mad at him. Yeah, he said that he tells those stories from what he experienced and what he saw growing up. Yeah. So, there's that. But I do want to acknowledge the fact that we did have some positive shows in the Black community. But other than that, y'all, I'm about to get out of here. I have not eaten anything. My drink is still kicking in. Tonight was good. I'm glad. It feels good to be back seeing you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the show tonight. I hope that you got a message out of all of this foolishness that's going on. And I pray that you have a successful week and a weekend and a great Easter and a good Friday, and that you continue to, and if you haven't, or you if you have, continue to, and if you haven't, you start to put you first. Put you first. There's nothing wrong with choosing you first. Yeah, we missed you. I missed you too. Put me first. Put me first on Wednesdays, but put you first, write down the things that you do want for yourself outside of your relationships, and just know that life is bigger than a relationship. And I think too, even with the Scotty situation, all she really has, like the really thing for real, is the Lemmy, because he said, I'll put you on and all of this. And a lot of times it just be because if you don't have anything else going on outside of your relationship, then you're definitely going to be miserable, bored, starting arguments and not knowing what to do. And when in doubt, look at these shows and they'll show you a prime example. Make sure you watch it. So be blessed, remove the blessing blockers, continue to move forward no matter what it looks like, and put you first. There's nothing wrong with putting you first. And if you guys aren't aligned and you're not on the same page with whatever it may be, the job, the friends, the relationship, whatever it may be, you have the power to change it. So I will see you guys next week, and I enjoyed you